What's up, fight fans? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing you another UFC picks, previews, and predictions. We got UFC 319 Plessis versus Chimaev, coming off a 10-2 week. Been on a nice run in the Apex, but we're going to the big Octagon. 12 fights scheduled for the card. Really looking forward to this. We're just gonna skip the tough guys and not really pick them. I have zero information on them, so I just want to start with Silva versus Diane Barbosa. We got a women's flyweight. Silva 18-5, 4-1 in her last five. Barbosa 4-1 in her last five, 8-3. 2 years older. It's 1 inch on the height and a little bit further reach for Silva here. And yeah, Silva's a favorite here, and I think that's for good reason. She's avenged 2 of her losses in her career, and I think she's going for a third one. I like Barbosa a lot. We smashed her finish in the last fight, and but it's just one of those things where this is going to be a really high step up in competition, and Silva is a beast. She did lose to Vivian Arujo, but that's like coming off the hype train. So sometimes, fighters just don't have their greatest night. But she was on a run after that or before that. Again, this is also probably her. And Barbosa's coming in on short notice. It was supposed to be J.J. Aldridge. So, stylistically, we'll see what ends up happening. Barbosa, a couple finishes. She lost to Miranda Maverick, a couple wins before that. And I just think Silva's just had way more experience. I think this is where the fight probably shines. We haven't seen Barbosa be super active since they fought, I think 6 years ago, which I don't know there's much to take on that. But I kind of like Silva here. I think Silva will control the striking. I think she'll work some takedowns, work some control, and it's like I like Silva by decision here. I think both these ladies are super tough. I think it will be a nice scrap. Nothing too crazy, but we'll see a nice dominant performance from Silva, who I think is really turned a corner, and I think one of the more exciting fighters that I think the women's division has been actually popping off this year. I know there's been a lot of finishes, a lot of good fights, a lot of solid scraps, even if the boring ones are not as boring as they once been. So, I like Silva. I think I did lose on the Lipsky or on the last fight, but we were on a roll with her again. I like her, and I like Barbosa a lot too. Just not in this matchup. I just think if she struggles to take down Silva, where is she gonna really dominate? On the feet, she has to get those takedowns, has to be able to work something, and I just don't think Silva's gonna give her those opportunities. I think she's really well rounded. So I like Silva. I think she'll get it done by decision. I don't think there's a finish in there for either of these ladies. I just think they're both it'll be really competitive, really competitive. All right, next up here, super good fight here. Nurstaloin Ruzaboyev versus Brian Battle at 185. 185, big. Ruzaboyev, freaking 36-9-2. 4-1 in his last fight. Lost to Buckley at welterweight. Brian Battle, 12-2. No contest to Angelusa. A couple knockouts in the Randy Brown cheating, weight cut that got him up to 185 here against Ruzaboyev, who is not cutting the 171. And this is like a nice matchup. You got, Battle throws a lot of volume, will control, clinch, look for some takedowns. Ruzaboyev, bad takedown defense, but killer counterpuncher. So as Battle tries to close the distance, does he get his chin clipped here and there? Is he going to be able to handle the power at a true guy at 185 where he's not getting an advantage against some guy at 171? You know what I mean? I think that's such a huge advantage. And this is the one where I want the UFC. Brian Battle's a natural 175, right? This is the same thing where I think if we Ruzaboyev's a 185, Battle's truly a 175. This is where I wish we had 65, 75, 85, because I think this would smooth out a lot of these matchups. It might not give us these matchups, but at plus money, I like Ruzaboyev here. I've been wishing I thought he was going to be a bigger favorite here against Battle, because Battle at welterweight, I think against Ruzaboyev all day, it's Battle this big of a favorite, if not bigger. But that being said, I just think Ruzaboyev is going to have a little bit, I don't want to say a better gas tank, but it's going to have a better strategy. He's just going to be tough to get into range. My dude is 6'5" against 6'1" with the reach isn't there, but the length is going to be there, which also I'm always one of those things, the longer arms against the same height or against taller guys, if you have the same arm length, is an advantage for the shorter guy. You can get up and around hitting a smaller target. So I think this could be an absolute cracker of a fight. I'm picking Ruzaboyev here. I'm not going against him. I don't like Battle at 185. Like I said, if this was at 171, I would pick Battle all day. I think Ruzaboyev can lose this fight easily. But I just think at some point Battle's just gonna get counterpunched, and he's just the tide of the fight will change, right? Like he might be winning some minutes, he might be controlling him, he might get a takedown, but come the second round, if he goes in there, tries it again, Ruzaboyev gets the timing down, absolutely smashes him, could hit him with a knee in the clench, hit him with some elbows. Like I think that it's gonna be an absolute banger of a matchup, and this is a great one to be on the card too because. Boy, oh boy, I think this one has... Man, I don't even know. I think Ruzaboyev finishes Battle 2-3, something like... But I do think this one goes more... It goes later than it doesn't. Like, I think both these guys are super durable. I think both these guys are going to be very patient in there. It's going to be probably more boring than we want it to be. Because I think Battle is one of those guys, like, he's not taking too many chances in there. Like, and he wants to fight his fight. And Ruzaboyev is going to wait and counterpunch because he's so freaking... 6'5". He's gonna have a huge frame advantage, and if he can touch the chin on the way in from Battle, if he's rushing in, but Battle's not really like that. I'm interested to see how much he turns it on, how much he closes the distance, and just bull rushes him because he's gonna have to throw some feints and some hits in there to close that distance. Because if he's just kind of, I don't know, man, this is gonna be a fascinating fight. I do think Battle has the huge advantage in the leg kicks, right? I think kicks to the body, kicks up front, I think could be a massive advantage for Bryan Battle here, and I think that's where he has to win, right? If he doesn't do that well enough, or if he gets him checked, I can't wait for this fight. Second fight of the night, boy, oh boy. I got Ruzaboyev here. I just like him at plus money. I just think it's, again, more even, right? Like, when I'm at this point, like, I like favorites a lot, but there are fights where I think they're more even than the odds give us. I think at 185, this is way more of a pick'em. At 170, it's Battle minus 200. But I somewhere in the middle, I don't get it. So we'll see what happens here. I just like the money line because it's too hard to kind of like... I could see it getting dragged out into a decision and it being like greasy split decision 29-28 Ruzaboyev. Because like if he can't knock out Battle but does some damage, he can win some minutes and some rounds and it be like really greasy on the scorecards. So I definitely can see this one just... I don't even know, man. But I'm picking Ruzaboyev. I think he just catches him, wins 2 rounds, and Battle just doesn't... I don't know, man. I don't trust him at 185. Next up here, talk about some chins you don't trust. We got Edson Barbosa versus Jakar Close. Barbosa, so going up to lightweight, not featherweight. 24-12, 2-3 in his last 5. Jakar Close, 15-3-1. 4-1 in his last, getting knocked out by Joel Alvarez. So a welterweight at lightweight. Again, one guy I would love to see at 165 who can't make 155. So that's what some of these guys can't make the weight, bro. It's insane. So if they gave him another option, I'd really love to see how some of these divisions would shake out. But yeah, I don't know. I love Close here, and I always want to picture Jakar Close because I always love the dog in him. Edson Barbosa's got that dog in him too, bro. But the thing is, both these guys have dusty chins, so I kind of can see Jakar Close kind of working the clinch a lot, it breaking with Barbosa's decent grappling, and then on the way out, I could see Barbosa getting him with some kicks, stunning him a little bit, and then just kind of going on the offensive, maybe getting one shot, a knee in there even. I think Barbosa has to win this with his legs. I don't think he can actually outpunch Close. I think he's going to get him with like a spinning kick and then like a flying knee if like Close is backing up against the cage, depending on like where it is on the break and the clinch. I think it has to be like a scramble like that. Otherwise, I could definitely see Edson Barbosa getting freaking Rock'em Sock'em robots and his freaking just head explode on from a Jakar Close like uppercut or something. Because like my guy is he's the broken character where it's one punch and it's wobbling. So I think it's a fascinating matchup. I truly think I like this fight to end by KO. Period. Picking a side, I am so torn. I'm probably just gonna rock with Jakar Close just because. Man, every time Edson Barbosa gets freaking chinned, like, and take that Sadiq Youssef, he's 1-4 in his last 5. You know what I mean? With a dusty chin, right? Like, he came back after getting floored in 2 rounds. I think if Jakar Close catches him in the first 2 rounds as clean as Sadiq Youssef did, even at 155, I think Barbosa's head goes just freaking off kilter and, you know, bumper cars on the mat. So I really do think it could be like a little bit of a later finish. I don't think it has to come right away, but it definitely can come super early too. It's just only going to take one hit from either of these guys. I don't know the odds on the under 2.5, 1.5. I think they've probably been nuked at this point, but I do like the fight to end by KO. I think it'd be kind of fun to play in. I think there's just not really, it's who's gonna get the advantage in the situations, in the scrambles, and the breaks and the exchanges, right? Because you got kind of Barbosa, who's really we know he's gonna throw kicks like that. The spinning kick you're gonna get, and I can see, you know, coming off the break in the clinch, if Jakar Close is backing up and can't back up fast enough, he gets hit somewhere up there or blocks and gets stunned a little bit, and then my guy comes in there with like even a knee to the body, gets him crumbled, and then a couple strikes against the cage. I could see both guys getting finished. That's why I just like the KO here. I got to pick a side. I'm picking Close, man. I just can't back Barbosa. If Barbosa puts the L on the record up there, then fine. He's earned it. Like, he's a veteran. Go for it. But at 39 years old, the Brazilians, I always think, are plus 2 to 3 years anyway. Leroy and Murphy, the fact that he didn't finish him is insane. Sadiq Youssef, you know, and then also, if you're getting dropped by Bryce Mitchell, dropped by Gigic, you know, come on. I'm not looking too much into those fights because, again, I watched that Youssef fight. I think I bet on Barbosa too, or had him on the pick, and he was getting crushed, and he came back to win. And I was like, what a veteran comeback against like that contender. It was like, look at that time. There was a few fights in that time when that Youssef, right, late 23, where like some prospects were getting thrown into some veterans. I think Pfeiffer Hermanson might have been like within a few months of that. But there was just some fights like that where you kind of like saw some of these guys go 5-round main events and not hang. So this isn't a 5-round main event. This is a 3-rounder, and I don't think he will even have that. I just think this doesn't go 12.5. Like, bro, Jakar Close, uppercut, just against the cage, just Barbosa goes down, and it's just over quicker. This is just going to be one of those things, like, whoever wins is going to look like a way bigger favorite than whatever happens. You're going to be like, how is he an underdog there? And, yeah, so I think we see a couple of those, and this is one spot that I like, and I'll probably end up, you know, we'll dabble in it. We'll sprinkle this somewhere in there, because I do like Jakar Close. I'm just a personal fan. Like I said, and this is one where, like, Barbosa's going to have to earn. Like, I just can't trust him right now. I absolutely... Not saying I can't trust Closa, but, like, dude, I've watched the performances over the last year. Okay, you're going to tell me his KO loss to Alvarez, and when you, like, just look at... It was a terrible mock-up. Like, terrible walkout. Like, why did they even have it? He had a guillotine and just hit him in the side of the head for a couple of... Like, So I think he's a way tougher fighter. I think he's got way more to the table. I think he can win over the course of 3 rounds way better than Barbosa can win. I think he can win minutes. I think he can knock him out. Jakar Close. Let's go, baby. Next up, Al Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. If you see in my, you know, there's a lot of A Hernandez. I did Anthony Hernandez, so you got to call him Al Hernandez. Al Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. Hernandez 16-8, 3-2 in his last 5. Hooper 16-3-1, 5-0 in his last 5. Only a moderate favorite, minus 290. I think he's up to minus 325 when I did my graphics. I typed out the numbers this morning. Hernandez, you know, 32 years old, 7-year age difference. We got basically a 3-inch height difference, 2-inch on the reach here, and yeah, I kind of like Chase Hooper sub here. I think Hernandez is going to try and strike. He's going to get kind of... I just think he's going to try and go in for some of these takedowns. If you watch Alex Hernandez, he's going to be getting some takedowns or attempting some takedowns in his fight. He's fought a lot of decisions recently. The fact that Billy Q... You know, I think we can see something like Renato Moicano. Like, if Moicano is finishing Alex Hernandez... I definitely can see Chase Hooper finishing Alex Hernandez. And I do think it's by submission. I think it could be guillotine. I think it could even be triangle, you know, leg triangle. I think it could be a lot of ways. I think Chase Hooper's going to have a lot of fun here. So I like Chase Hooper. I think we're getting a kind of a crazy price tag on him, only minus 325. A lot of respect to Alex Hernandez, granted. Like, he's a veteran. He's not going to go down easily, but I just think there's a chance that he absolutely gets tapped out here. It wouldn't be the first time that he's been finished. He's kind of not fought the top of the, everybody that Al Hernandez has just fought in the last 5. Chase Hooper is a minus 1,000 favorite against, and he's only a minus 300 against Hernandez. So props off to Hernandez. Like, he's definitely tough competition. I definitely think I got a couple wins on him in there, just like knowing he's going to beat some of those guys. But yeah, this is Chase Hooper all day. I think he's got 8 submissions in his career. I don't think he gets the TKO just because, like, dude, Alex is tough. Like, I think if anything, he gets caught in, like, again, something where he's just getting kind of purely dominated, rear naked choke, almost even a guillotine in a way where he just catches. The length is going to be an absolute problem. So I think Chase Hooper by submission is one of my. We'll play that somewhere. I really can't see him not finishing Hernandez. I just think he'll want to put some urgency on him. And I think Hernandez is kind of the perfect guy for Hooper to rebound against. Somebody that will go forward, want to wrestle, want to strike, but also sit back and absorb some strikes as well. So Hooper's going to be able to lay on the volume, do some damage, pick him apart when Hernandez tries to counter. Hooper's going to be there. I think we can see a takedown. I think we can see, I think he can rock in a hook, work the body, hit a couple times on the head, and really get the, the rear naked choke in round 2. I think it'd probably take him round 2. I think I need a little bit to get going because Hernandez is tough. Like, again, and then Hernandez, he's just got to win. Knockout round 1 is your win condition. You got to knock out Chase Hooper. I gotta like give a little love for the other side. Like, you gotta hit Hooper before he gets going, right? Just knock him out before he starts. That's the way to win. And get the ref to stop it. So if you want to take the Alex Hernandez side, I just can't see him winning over the course of 15 minutes, despite as much as the decision specialist as he is. He still loses some of those decisions, but if you want to take him anywhere, I think you take Alex Hernandez round 1 KO, and then other than that, I think you got Hooper sub live for about 10 minutes of work. Like, if you just watch that, yeah, I'm just going to stop there. Let's go, baby. Next up, we got women's. This is a flyweight or a bantamweight? What did they have it up there? 115. So women's straw weight. We're at the straw weight here. So Andrade going down the straw weight, 3-2 in her last 5, 26-14 overall against Loopy Godinez, 13-5, 2-3 in her last overall. Slight underdog for Andrade, slight favorite for Loopy, and personally, I like Loopy. I've picked her a lot. She's not that good. Andrade is a freaking savage, bro. She's a beast, and she's due for a rebound. This is Andrade all day. I think Andrade KO. I think Andrade, I don't know if round 1, round 2, if you like her. I don't think she gets the sub on Godinez. I think she just straight flatlines her. If you go watch the Mackenzie Dern fight, if Mackenzie Dern's fighting Loopy right now, what is it? Mackenzie minus 325? Like, the fact that Andrade beat Mackenzie Dern and would realistically, and she lost to Mackenzie in that 5-round last year. I think Andrade spot. I think this is Andrade all day. I think Andrade is live for a finish. Man, dude, I think she's got serious power. I think she's got some serious want to. I feel like she hasn't fought in a minute. I mean, May 10th, it feels like but she was out in a minute. Like, we knew she was gone that day. We knew Jazz Vicious. So it's not like she's taken a lot of damage this year. She lost to Natalia Silva last year. She's ready. I think she'll get a bonus. I think she's knocking out Loopy Godinez, and I'm a big Loopy fan. I'm sorry to have to pick this. I really can't see her rocking 15 minutes in there with Andrade, dude. She's a different puncher, right? Like, love Dern, love Yonderoba, but Andrade throws with bad intentions, and she hasn't been active. I think she's got some stuff sorted up. I think she's got a little bit extra time in there, and boy, oh boy, I think this is again, I like a few upsets this week. This is another one. I think a few have a chance to hit. I never put Alex Hernandez's freaking odds up there. He's like, what, my bad. Plus 124, I love it. I love it this week. I think there's a few underdogs that hit, and I think this is one that absolutely smacks. I do think a lot of favorites hit this week, too. I'm really excited for this card. I can't believe the odds are actually that haven't been crash. I know it's really early. I'm doing this on a Monday here, but I think there's just from the last 2 weeks, there's going to be some incredible value on this card, some incredible matchups, and some incredible finishes and fights. This is, I mean, for the 2 weeks in the Apex, it got us by. Like, it did well. Like, if you watch those Apex cards, we were eating pretty good there. A couple boring fights, but yeah, okay, come on. It's UFC, man. Not everyone can be a banger, so. Holy shit, this is going to be a great card. I think Andrade gets a monster finish, earns herself a Performance of the Night bonus, and yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely... I think she's in for a savage overhand right. I think or a knee, something crazy. Andrade all day, baby. Next up, middleweight bout. Gerald Meerschaert versus Mikhail Olisejczak. GM3 versus Hazar, the winged horse warrior. Meerschaert 37-19, 2-3 in his last 5. Olisejczak 2-3 in his last 5, 20-9 overall. 7 years older for Meerschaert, 1 inch on the height, 3 inches on the reach. Fighting Nerds versus Killcliff FC, and this is yeah. If you just look at this, you know we got Olisejczak KO versus Meerschaert sub. Is Meerschaert going to be able to take this guy down? How much of the grappling have they really work? I don't know if the Fighting Nerds are the most grappling intense team. But that being said, I don't know if I can actually ever trust Gerald Meerschaert again, especially with a pick. I love Gerald Meerschaert, and this is the time that like you most count him out is when he most performs. And he definitely could. I mean, if you're going to take a chance, I think you have to just take Meerschaert by submission. Other than that, bro, he's just not beating anybody, bro. Meerschaert's wins, Barbarena, Shabajian, Bruno Silva, Stolskis. He loses to Tavares, De Ritter, Petrovsky. Come on, Petrovsky, Pfeiffer. I think you have to pick Olisejczak. The thing is, I think Olisejczak just eventually just wins by attrition if he doesn't knock him out. This could be a spot that's worth taking, like Olisejczak. But my man he's a certified absolute killer. Like, I could see him catching him in the first round and it going over quick. Like, Olisejczak KO is definitely going to be probably one of the plays of the week. And I wonder if you can play it maybe him a little bit later instead. Like, I wonder if Olisejczak 3 decision might be a little bit better. But, man, like I said, dude, you just watch him. When he actually wins, he just absolutely destroys. And when he loses, he gets freaking floored. But it's just... I mean, I'm taking Olisejczak. I'm picking him the KO here. That's the official pick. But every time, the more and more I doubt Gerald Meerschaert, the more and more I think he's just going to actually come in there with a better and just actually do something different. But, man, I don't know. This one could go either way. This one is, I'm definitely just picking the favorite, and I just can't pick. I wouldn't, A, lay money on Meerschaert right now. B, I wouldn't pick Meerschaert right now. C, I don't trust Meerschaert right now. And D, all it takes is one punch for him to get knocked out with all the fights he's been in. They're literally just... I know, as you just watch the Hamzat fight, it's literally a straight right. Like, he's sometimes slow. This guy's 30 years old. He can be 7. He's fighting with absolute killers. So, yeah, I think Olisejczak here. I think Olisejczak in KO 1-2. Give him 10 minutes to work. If he can't get it done, then, you know, GG's on that. Probably not getting the job done. If you like Meerschaert too, I don't know. I just think I would play Meerschaert by sub at any point. I just think he also, if it goes to decision, it's Olisejczak just because he'll win on the feet. Like, the point is, if Meerschaert is able to get him down, he's probably like gonna sub him, right? What's the percentages? 90+ that he subs him. So that being said, it's like, does he get him to the ground? You have to determine if you like that. I do think it's a high possibility, but I also think 30 years old, fighting with those Fighting Nerds, they're absolute killers, freakish athletes as well. So I like Olisejczak here. I think he's on improvement. I think once you turn the corner with some of these fighters, you have to be at your lowest lows to get to your highest highs. So let's take the Hazar, bro. That's a sick-ass nickname, bro. Hazar. Olisejczak knockout 1-2. Let's go, baby! Next up here. And if that fight doesn't get ended in a knockout, this one sure is. We got King Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. Bobby Green, 32, 17-1, 2-3 in his last fight, plus 170 underdog against Diego Ferreira. 2-3 in his last fight, minus 200, 40 years old. And, yeah, the Unk Bowl. They're giving us an Unk Bowl every week, man, and I love it. And if you pick Bobby Green here, please tell me why. Please I might have to send you to the asylum here. I'm a big fan of Diego Ferrer here, and I think Diego knocks him out. I think Diego 1-2. I think King Bobby Green's chin is absolute toast from the Jalen Turner fight. That ref still needs to be arrested, taken in for questioning. And I remember I picked Grant Dawson against Ferreira, and Ferreira was squaring him up for freaking in those first 2 rounds. You know, Dawson was getting the takedowns, and that's where he won the fight decisively. But, man, Ferreira was holding his own, and I think he's definitely live for a KO. I think he's live for a club and sub. I think Bobby has left the building, and King Green is in here to collect his paychecks. And, yeah, so I think Diego Ferreira finishes them. I think he finishes them early in the first round. I think it's one of those, this is a kill or be killed moment, and I just don't think Bobby Green has anything left in him, bro. After just seeing him just slump against Hoofy, which we had big time, like, I thought Bobby was gonna, like, seriously, I was watching that fight. We had Hoofy KO, and I thought when Hoofy hit him, I'm like, oh my God, Bobby Green might have a chance to like cover up, and my guy was just straight flatlined. And yeah, so that's the end of Bobby Green. He's getting knocked out here. I love you, Bobby Green. Please seek some help. Tell me why you wouldn't pick Diego Ferreira to KO him right now. Let's talk. Next up here on the main card, flyweight Tim Elliott versus Kai Asukara. Tim Elliott, 20-13-1, 3-2 in his last fight. Hasn't fought in a year and 7 months. Kai Asukara coming in the title fight against Pantoja. 21-5, 3-2 in his last 5. 31 years old, 7-inch age difference. And yeah, I mean, this is Asukara all day. Asukara KO. I worry about Elliott's. I mean, maybe he gets a sub here too, but I mean, you watch that flying knee, man. If Tim Elliott gets hit with that flying knee in the first round, there's no way he's just not straight looking like Kazawa was last week. I don't want to root against fighters like that, and I don't want to say anything, but this guy Asukura looks like the real deal, bro. And I think I worry about guys that haven't been there a year and 7 months at this explosive of a division, right? Like, it's one thing if you're like a heavy hitter, you know, you're trying to recover a little bit. You maybe got knocked out a few times. I think he was scheduled to fight against Tyra, pulled out, and we didn't really see him at all since then. Yeah, I think I mean, especially if we got him at you know, even minus 300, I think is a slam dunk parlay piece this week for Asukora. I will definitely have a few of these. I can't believe some of these lines right now are not just absolutely blown out. Like Hooper, Asukora. There's a few of the favorites that I truly like a lot. That I think I'm gonna put in together. Even like Ferreira. So I think Asukora can get the finish here. I think you have to get Asukora. I think you play the way you do this is you play him 1-2. I think you just don't pick KO or submission just because I think you give him 10 minutes to finish Tim Elliott. Again, if these guys can't finish some of these veteran guys, and like that's where I put my bets and my scratch in, then they don't deserve to really. Then I don't really deserve to win those bets, right? Like I'm betting on these guys to actually finish these guys within 2 rounds, like 10 minutes against a 38-year-old guy that hasn't been in there in over 20 months, and you're supposed to be this guy fighting for a belt. If you can't finish the guy, then it just makes me reevaluate, and I learn a lot more about you. So that's why I like doing it like this way too. And yeah, so I got Kai Asukara inside the first 2 rounds here. I don't know what the odds are. The stuff doesn't really come out. I got to get better, you know, graphics and get the better odds. I need to talk to a few more people to upgrade the, you know, the stream as we go into year 3. So looking into that in the future. So, but man, I sure as do love Kai Asukara in this spot here. Let's go, baby. Next up, what do we got? We're at 185. Jared, the Killer Gorilla Canonir versus Michael Venom Paige. Probably the two coolest nicknames besides Olik on the card. Canonir, 3-2 in his last 5, 18-8 overall. MVP, 3-2 in his last 5, 23-3 overall. Canonir lost to what? Imavov, and let me check the other one. Baralo, and then MVP lost to Gary in that close fight. And yeah, I think this is an MVP masterclass. This is going to be one for the film sessions, MVP by decision. Canonir's got to have the cage push. He's going to have to just physically dominate him, which I really do like at 185 for his ability, because I mean, the thing about Canonir is he's gonna get forward. So, and I don't think he gets clipped. This is only a 3-round fight. I think he might wear down 4 and 5 at 40 years old, but I think he's always gonna be good for 3 rounds. I just also think by the time Venom Paige does the damage, he'll probably be retreating. So he'll stumble backwards and then maybe like look for a couple body shots and he'll survive. I don't think he'll. I like him at 185 too. I like MVP not having to cut. I think there's an art flow and a style to him where it's so natural at 185. And if he's not truly fighting for the belt, he wants exciting fights. This is the perfect sweet spot for him. I can't believe he's actually at a price that he is, but I think that is because Canonir has that win condition where he's going to have to just, does he know how to take him down? Can he take him down? Can he even get close enough to take him down? Because if you watch some MVP fights, he absolutely frustrates some fighters, and he was frustrating Ian Gary. He made Ian Gary a wrestler. My guy MVP, that overhand right, he might finish Canonir. And I said if he can hit that 2 times in the fight against Canonir, that overhand right stumbles him back to the cage, where Canonir's just surviving, that's going to win him the fight. Just 2 big moments. Control the distance. GG's. Like, I think MVP by decision is probably the outcome of this fight. I just don't see Canonir getting finished. I just think MVP is such a style. When you just watch the Kevin Holland fight again, watch him against Gary. I knew he would lose against Gary, but I still want, and that just confirms so much. It confirmed Gary is just going to sit at distance and tic-tac these guys to oblivion because he's great at that. And also that there's 2 ways you can't do that to MVP, and you have to wrestle him. So I think this is a great line in the sand fight, and I think MVP I just don't think Canonir is able to do anything to him. We got the big cage too. If we're in the Apex, maybe. I don't know if like Bellator's rings are the same size as the UFC's, but man, in the big arena, I just think he'll be dancing. 15-minute dance session for MVP. Knock him down a couple times. Work the body. Hit some sick leg kicks. Just absolutely punish Canonir, who'd probably be just a little frustrated with his performance at the end of the day. MVP by decision. Let's go! Dude, I'm so fired up for this card. We still got a few fights left. Next up here, we got welterweight fight. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Protes. We got Neal 16-6, 3-2 in his last fight against Protes, 21-7, 4-1 in his last fight, coming off that loss to Gary. 5th round explosion by him, but lost the 4 rounds. And we got Jeff Neal. God, who did Jeff Neal just beat? Wonder Boy? RDA to the leg injury, but yeah, that wasn't a surprise because RDA is a lightweight trying to compete at featherweight. Yeah, I don't know because that one, like I said, RDA hurt himself. He's a lightweight at welterweight. I love Jeff Neal. I think if I like to play this one, the thing is, I want to play this way Protes 3/decision because I think Jeff Neal is so tough and I think he'll be able to hit Protes and hold them back for enough. But the thing is, once Protes puts on that killer mode, if it doesn't come at the end of the 5th round when he's absolutely gassed and never been there, I think he absolutely can finish Jeff Neal within 30 seconds, right? Like, once he puts that in, when he's got the knees, he's got the kicks, he's got the crosses. My guy can just come in there around the left. I think he's got long arms. I didn't even break down the 2-inch reach advantage, the 3-inch reach advantage, the 2-inch on the height advantage for Protes. So I absolutely think he can demolish Jeff Neal, and I think that's where the win condition comes in there. I do think Jeff Neal can stumble Protes, and that's where I think the fight maybe doesn't end by a KO from Protes because he's going to probably take a few tough shots, and he's not going to be able to just calibrate freely, and I think that's why it ends up coming into a decision. I think he wins with volume, and I think he will do some damage big time to Jeff Neal at some point, but he also will take some big time damage. Dude, Jeff Neal sent Vicente Luque to the freaking time machine, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he fought, and then he didn't fight for a while after that. So that's why I think it is. This one could, I can't pick Jeff Neal. I've picked Jeff Neal, I think, every time. So if he gets it done now, I'd be so happy for him because I've backed him for so long, and I think he's such a tough fighter. But I just think Protes is so legit. I think he's just got insane power, insane KO ability, and I think he can win round 1, round 2, round 3, and by decision. I think Jeff Neal has to find a KO shot somewhere, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't know. I could be wrong. This is a great matchup. Great matchup. I'm so excited for this one. This, like I said, this card's fired up. Official pick is Protes. I think we've picked him every time except against Gary. So we're going to keep the streak alive with the Protes pick. We're going to pick Protes to win. Let's go, baby. Co-main event here. Featherweight fight. Leroy Murphy against Aaron Pico coming in from Bellator. Murphy, 5-0, 16-0-1. 34 years of age, undefeated. Willemish Pico, 13-4, 4-1. Slight favorite, 6 years the younger. 1 inch on the reach, 2.5 on the, or 1 inch on the height, 2.5 inch on the reach. And yeah, you getting freaking Murphy as an underdog here. I think we're running to the counter. I'm running to the cash counter. Dude, I will never bet on a Bellator guy. He's gonna have to get takedowns. He's gonna have to actually implement the game plan. He better just. The only way Pico wins is to see have Pitbull in his corner telling him, "Bro, just take him down. Don't throw your hands. Make it greasy. Win by decision." Otherwise, I think Leroy Murphy's an absolute problem for this guy. You're gonna get him at plus money. You could probably just pick him though. It's just insane. Just what are we capping here? Have we watched any debuts? Maybe once you get the adjustments in there, patchy mix. I'm sorry. I'll go 0 for 3 if I'm picking Murphy here, and we can all curse Murphy by picking him here, and fine. I think a lot of people, a lot of casual, like not casual fans, I think a lot of fans would be happy Murphy taking the L here, but I don't understand if you watch over weeks, over months, over years of UFC, how you're gonna not pick Murphy here. He's plus money. If anything, he should be the favorite. I don't get it. I don't know what I'm missing here. So Murphy all day. I'm running to the counter. He's part of the guys. He's the one that I saw, and I was like, oh my god. I was 114, then he's up to 120 before I made this video today. So yeah, I'm Murphy. I'm running to the cash counter. I think Murphy by decision. 3 rounds. Come on, man. This guy Pico. He's just going to hold him against the fence, get reversed, work the body. He's just going to try that. It's going to be a boring fight. I think Murphy here, absolutely in a masterclass for Murphy. And, yeah, I'd like to see who he calls out here because featherweight is freaking going to be on fire if he wins again. So let's go, baby. Last up, baby, the main event. Middleweight championship fight of the world. I don't know if there's a bigger matchup this year. Dricus du Plessis, 5-0, 23-2 against Khamzat Chimaev, 5-0, 14-0, 8-0 in the UFC. Oh, boy. Holy frick, man. Man. I don't even know what to say, guys. We can talk about this fight for probably another 37 minutes. We're on here for 37 minutes so far. You got the awkward, unorthodox, but calculated du Plessis in there. We got Chimaev, blitzkrieg, grappling, submission, and I think Chimaev has... He's got 9 minutes to work. He's got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Because if he's not getting them down by the last minute in the second round, he's not getting them down. I'd say he's got 7.5. I give him another 90 seconds. I can't see Chimaev winning anything past 4 or 5 or the decision. I think there's this fight sits on the axis. The axis of mistakes and capitalization, where du Plessis is not perfect, and Chimaev lets nothing slip. So we're on the sword's edge right now, right? How perfect can du Plessis be as a champion, defending his title, looking like a stud, the best middleweight stud we've seen since Silva. Anderson Silva. His reign is better than Adesanya's right now in terms of what he's actually produced in terms of finishes as well. It's going to be controversial because Adesanya had so many, but how many of those fights were non-competitive, pretty boring? He dusted these guys. I think that might be an outrageous statement, but if he wins this fight too, there's no doubt in my mind he is the second best middleweight of, I don't even know, maybe the third best because I'll put Silva there. And I just don't think GSP is truly the middleweight. If he beats Chimaev here, it could be the greatest middleweight run besides Anderson Silva. If Chimaev wins, it's Chimaev right up there, if not even being better than Silva. This fight is phenomenal. I have to pick Chimaev within... The pick is Chimaev by submission round 2. I think somehow the first round will scrap out. The second round will make a mistake, and I think it will be over. I think Chimaev. I want to see Du Plessis win. I really don't want to see Chimaev win. I want to see Du Plessis absolutely maul this guy. Come 3, come 4, come 5. I want to see Chimaev gas out, but I think this guy's absolutely one of the most killer fighters to ever don the octagon. I think there's something as fans and people, as human beings, that we don't think about as we watch. We sit in the stands, as you can be on the team, as you can walk up into the cage, as you can be part of the team, as you can be the cut man, as you can be the referee. But as soon as that cage door closes and Chimaev is in there against the other man, I don't know if there's a situation when that cage closes, you get it, that cage closes, where he's not just been the absolute most menacing fighter on earth. As much as I love to say Gilbert won round 2 and 3, he might not have. Some judges didn't think so. So, I mean, I think he's got 9 minutes. Chimaev has to win within 9 minutes. If it goes 3, 4, 5, I think Du Plessis has a chance. I think he wins. Not only has a chance, I think whoever wins this fight looks like a minus 500 favorite. I really do. I think there's a few of these fights that they got two-way action on it, and we're gonna see a lot of fights. Whoever wins is gonna look like a minus 500, minus 1,000, 700, 800 favorite. I don't think we get as many finishes. I think we get a few finishes here. I think the people that get finishes are potentially the ones against the most vulnerable matchups. We'll do a little recap here, and so we have not. If you look at the history in the last year or so, there has not been a lot of TKOs in the main event for title shots, unless it's Elliott Topuria. There has been quite a few subs. I'm going sub. Khamzat Chimaev, second round submission for the World Middleweight Championship. And I'm gonna chagrin seeing DDP lose, and I really hope he wins. Like I would if DDP knew me, I would outright pick him and back him up. Since I don't know him, I hope he finds me and flames me for picking Chimaev if he wins and being one of those guys just to have a good old laugh. Because I really do think he might be like I said, I hold both these guys extremely highly. I think the middleweight top 5 or 6 right now are maybe the most dangerous fighters in the entire UFC, pound for pound wise. And I can't wait for this fight, man. Good luck, gentlemen. Let the best man win. Bring your best. I pray this fight happens. I pray Chimaev makes it to the scale and walks up. And yeah. We got how many more days? Too many. Chimaev sub official pick, but go DDP. Do a quick recap here, man. What a fight. We got 12 fights on the card. This is probably some of the longest I've talked. I'm so excited for so many of these fights. We're going to Karina Silva, probably by decision. I like Rousov, probably by KO. This fight to end by KO, but I'm taking Jakar close. I don't know. Maybe this sneaks out decision. I like Chase Hooper submission. Jessica Andrade KO. Mazel Olik KO. Diego Ferrer KO. Kai Aukora 1-2. Michael Venom Paige decision. Protes 3/decision. I like Protes late. I like Protes by decision. You're just not going to finish Jeff Neal like that. Murphy all day. And Chimaev sub. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your picks in the comment. The main UFC fights. You pick all 12 of those UFC fights. I'll give you $100. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, your family, your friends. And peace and love, everybody. I gave you 3 fingers. Give me 2, baby. Let's go! Darn!